Yo guys, MotoGame here and welcome back to another video. Again, sorry this video is coming out a bit late. I'm going to try to quit one of my jobs soon so I have more time to do all the stuff at home. But anyway, today's video is my ideas for Scarlet Witch in Marvel's Avengers. Now, she has been rumoured to be in the game. I haven't really looked into the validity of those rumours. I just know that it's going around out there that she might be added to the game eventually. I'm almost 100% sure she will be, because she's been strongly affiliated with the Avengers so much in the comics, and obviously she's in the Avengers films. She is a pretty well-known Avenger at this point that I'm sure a lot of people would love to play as in the game. Personally, she's one of my favourite Marvel characters of all time. She's an extremely powerful character whose full extent of capabilities is definitely not done justice in the MCU just yet. Wanda Maximoff's powers derive from her manipulation of chaos magic, which even Doctor Strange had no idea about the existence of, and definitely not how to use it. Chaos magic allows Wanda to manifest offensive hexes, manipulate probability, and even change reality as a whole, and that's only just scratching the surface of what she can do. She is such a powerful character that has become an extreme threat to the whole of the Avengers, and I would say to the universe, and famously has even created a whole new timeline in which mutants no longer existed. So it's safe to say she's a pretty OP character in the comics, and I feel like her powers and how powerful she is would make her an extremely interesting and unique character for the game. Wanda's light attacks could consist of like hex-infused punches and hex blasts, using her powers to enhance hand-to-hand combat. So similar to when she fights Proxima Midnight in Infinity War. I feel like that kind of combat would be good for Wanda up close. Obviously that wouldn't be her main focal point of her combat. That would just be when there's an enemy right up close to you and maybe you've drained all the stamina for your more powerful attacks. Wanda's heavy attacks would be where she uses her hexes more heavily, like maybe shooting hexes at enemies and ripping them apart in combos. Her heavy attack hexes could work similar to Iron Man's repulsors basically. Now, as we know, every character has an L2 aimed attack. So like Black Widow has her pistols, which you hold L2 to aim and R2 to shoot. And for Wanda, her aimed attack should allow her to pick up enemies and launch them into the environment. So like basically you hold L2 to aim at an enemy, and then you hold R2 to suspend them in the air, and then release R2 to launch them in whichever direction you're looking at. And also, whilst holding the enemies in the air, it should slowly drain the enemy's health, but only a little bit, just to show that her powers are having an effect on the enemies. And it would be really cool if we could smash the enemies into the environment whilst holding them by like looking at walls and at floors to slam them into whilst they're suspended in the air. This telekinetic hold should work on all enemy types, even the huge monotronic exos and even the boss villains. Because there's really no limit to Wanda's power when it comes to her chaos magic, and even in the MCU we have seen her lift some immense things and hold Thanos dead to rights. Now obviously we don't want Scarlet Witch to be a severely overpowered character in the game, so when you're holding enemies in the air, it should definitely drain her power bar just like Iron Man's does, just so you can't hold enemies up in the air for a whole mission. While suspending enemies in the air, other players on your team can attack them, making this ability very advantageous. So when Wanda's suspending an enemy in the air, you could have Iron Man repulsing them, you could have Black Widow shooting them. There's really so much variety that this one move could bring to the game, especially if they allow you to slam them into things just by looking around. It would definitely be an extremely fun move to use. Now with all the characters, we see that pressing R2 without aiming triggers a completely different move. So if you press R2 whilst holding L2 as Black Widow, you shoot your pistols, but if you don't hold L2, you grapple to them. With Wanda, her R2 attack alone could allow her to shoot a beam of chaos magic that locks onto the enemies that you're looking at, similar to Iron Man's lasers when he's flying. One of Wanda's offensive abilities could be her letting out a huge wave of anger in the form of her magic, reminiscent to Age of Ultron, where she just lets out one huge wave of chaos magic and obliterates all enemies nearby. Now obviously this ability as well would have to be numbed down a little bit just so it's not too OP, but we already see similar abilities to that in the game. Now her support ability, I was thinking could be that you create a clone of each team member which helps fight in battle for, I don't know, around 15 seconds. This would be a very powerful support ability, but it would also really showcase Scarlet Witch's full potential. So that's the video guys, that's a few of my ideas for Scarlet Witch in the game. Let me know if you want to see her in the game, I know I definitely do. Let me know your ideas for Scarlet Witch, let me know your ideas for other characters, what other characters you want to see in the game, what other characters you want to see me do a video on. All that good stuff I will definitely read in the comments. And thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. I'm Mental Gamer, over and out.